15 frameworks to generate startup business ideas. Coming up with ideas for your business is not something that's easy for everyone. The following frameworks will help you to come up with new ideas for potential solutions. Framework number 1. Change one element. One way to innovate is to apply a framework of changing only one element to the offering, keeping everything else same. For example, apps like Calm and Headspace use sounds and music to help people meditate. Can you build a similar app for something else like motivation? Using audio speeches, words of wisdom or stories from successful people, can you build an app that will help people stay regularly motivated? Framework number 2. Inversion. Can you turn a common practice upside down? For example, doctors treat patients. What if patients can become their own doctors? Or what if students could become teachers and teach other students? Framework number 3. Integration. Can you integrate similar or different products or services into a single place? Examples include supermarkets, B2C and B2B marketplaces, and aggregators. Framework number 4. Extension. Can you extend an existing product or service? For example, what if you could provide customer support outside office hours as a service to companies? Or, if you have a product for desktop users, can you extend the product for mobile users? Framework number 5. Differentiation. Can you offer the same or similar product or service to a different market segment? For example, when the iPhone launched, it targeted a different market segment compared to BlackBerry, which was much more expensive and targeted the high-end mobile market. Another example is social networks like Snapchat. Snapchat saw an opportunity in building a social app for teenagers. Framework number 6. Execution versus market risk. Can you think of a product you can build, and whether there is a market demand for the product? Good ideas lie in the intersection between execution of the product and market demand for the product. For example, for a company like Twitter, it was initially market risk, as founders didn't know how users would react to the product. Whereas, for a company like SpaceX, there is more of execution risk. Framework number 7. Solving a problem versus creating an opportunity. When evaluating ideas, you should certainly think about how much of a clear problem they are solving. But also think about ideas as new opportunities they might create. For example, if you are creating a new product, like a game, it's more about creating a new opportunity. Any new and popular products are examples of creating opportunities. Framework number 8. Taking advantage of technological shifts. Can you identify what technology has changed in the last few months to a few years, that will let you create a new product, a new experience? For example, think of recent technologies like video sharing, GPS tracking, ride-hailing, text-to-voice, and other technologies which you can use to create new offerings. Framework number 9. Creating new supply. Can you find a way to create new supply, to service either existing demand, or new demand? Airbnb took existing homes and turned them into a new supply for lodging. Swiggy extends existing restaurant supply by expanding it to new customers not in the immediate vicinity. Rent the Runway took people's closets and made them a new source of supply for an online fashion marketplace. Uber and Ola took idle cars and turned them into a new supply of taxis. Framework number 10. Time travel. Imagine yourself 20 years in the future, find what's missing, and build that thing. For example, in the next 10 years, will mobile phones replace desktop computers? If you believe it to be true, you need to develop a product for mobile users. Framework number 11. Addition. Add a new element to an offering. For example, food delivery companies have recently started delivering groceries as a part of their services. Framework number 12. Subtraction. What happens if you remove an element from an offering? Hospitals are critical to treating patients. What if you had to close hospitals? In current times, meeting face-to-face is difficult. So, many collaboration tools that enable people to communicate and work are gaining popularity. Framework number 13. Translation. Can you apply a practice associated with another field to a new field? Governments and corporates are different kinds of operations. What if corporate management practices were applied by governments? Another example is how venture capitalists use the principles of dating to get to know startup founders better, before investing in them. Framework number 14. Combination. Can you combine a practice associated with another field, to a new field? For example, Tinder gave rise to the swiping left or right feature. Can the same principle be applied to new apps that could focus on things like real estate, art, jobs, etc.? Framework number 15. Exaggeration. Can you push something to its extreme form? For example, companies have different offices, departments, reporting structures, etc., but can companies operate entirely online, through various tools or a single tool?